In another video, we talked about the 6 laws of persuasion, the honest ways people influence each other every day. But persuasion has a dark twin. The same psychological buttons that help a good friend convince you to try something new can be pressed deliberately, secretly, to control you. This is what people mean by dark psychology, manipulation designed to bypass your judgment without you ever noticing. Today, I'm going to show you 5 of the most common tactics manipulators use, so that the next time someone tries them on you, you'll see it coming a mile away. Because the single best defense against manipulation is simply being able to name it. Let's start with the most damaging one of all. Tactic 1. Gaslighting. This is the deliberate distortion of your reality until you no longer trust your own memory, your own perception, your own sanity. It sounds like, "That never happened. You're overreacting, you're too sensitive." You're imagining things. Said once, it's a disagreement. Said again and again, deliberately, it becomes a weapon. Slowly, you stop trusting yourself and start relying on the manipulator to tell you what's real, which is exactly the point. The term comes from an old film in which a husband dims the gas lights in the house, and when his wife notices, insists she's imagining it, until she begins to doubt her own mind. The defense? Keep an external record. Write things down. Tell a trusted friend. Reality doesn't need you to remember it perfectly, but your memory needs protection from someone rewriting it. Tactic 2. Love bombing. This one wears the mask of affection, which is what makes it so dangerous. At the very start of a relationship, romantic or even a friendship or a job, you're showered with overwhelming attention, praise, gifts, intensity. It feels like a dream. But love bombing isn't love. It's investment designed to create dependency. Once you're hooked on that flood of validation, the manipulator turns the tap off, and now you'll do almost anything to get it back. Real connection builds slowly and stays steady. Manipulation arrives like a tidal wave and then withdraws, leaving you chasing the water. If something feels too intense too fast, that speed itself is the warning sign. Tactic 3. The foot in the door turned dark. We touched on commitment in the persuasion video, how a small yes makes a bigger yes easier. Manipulators weaponize this. They start with a request so tiny you'd feel silly refusing, then a slightly bigger one, then bigger still. Each step feels reasonable compared to the last, and because you want to stay consistent with who you've already shown yourself to be, you keep saying yes, until you look up one day and realize how far past your own boundaries you've walked. The defense is to judge each request against your actual values, not against the previous request. Ask not, "Is this a little more than last time?" but, "Would I have agreed to this at the very start?" Tactic 4. Guilt tripping and playing the victim. This is manipulation through your own conscience. Instead of asking for something directly, the manipulator makes you feel responsible for their pain, so that helping them becomes the only way to relieve your guilt. "After everything I've done for you, I guess I'll just deal with it alone like always. If you really cared, you wouldn't make me ask." Notice the move. Your reasonable choice gets reframed as cruelty, and their disappointment becomes your fault. Healthy people express needs as requests you're free to decline. Manipulators express them as debts you're obligated to pay. The defense is to separate two things that feel identical but aren't: genuine empathy for someone's feelings and false responsibility for fixing them. You can care about someone's disappointment without being controlled by it. Tactic 5, and the sneakiest of them all: intermittent reinforcement. We actually covered the science of this in the dopamine video. Unpredictable rewards are far more addictive than consistent ones. Manipulators use this on human affection. They're warm, then cold, kind, then cruel, attentive, then distant, with no predictable pattern. You'd think inconsistency would push you away. It does the opposite. The unpredictability creates a psychological hook identical to a slot machine. You keep pulling the lever, chasing the next moment of warmth because you never know when it's coming. This is the invisible glue in many toxic relationships. If you feel addicted to someone who treats you inconsistently, that's not a sign of deep love. It's a sign of a variable reward schedule running on your heart. Now step back and notice the thread running through all 5. Every one of these tactics works by hijacking something good in you: your trust, your capacity for love, your desire to be consistent, your empathy, your longing for connection. Manipulation isn't a sign that you're weak or foolish. It's precisely because you have these healthy human traits that the tactics have something to grip. Manipulators are, in a sense, parasites on your virtues, which is why the defense is never to become cold, suspicious, and closed off. That would mean letting the manipulators win by making you less human. The real defense is awareness. A manipulator's entire power depends on you not noticing what they're doing. The gaslighter needs you not to know the word gaslighting. The love bomber needs you to mistake intensity for love. The moment you can quietly name the tactic in your head, this is intermittent reinforcement, the spell breaks. You can see the strings, and you can't be a puppet once you can see the strings. So here's what to carry with you. You don't need to treat everyone as a threat. Most people in your life are honest, and the goal isn't paranoia. The goal is a kind of calm, clear-eyed radar, the ability to enjoy real connection while spotting the counterfeit. Trust people, but trust your own perception more than anyone's attempt to rewrite it. So this week, just hold these 5 names in your mind: gaslighting, love bombing, the slow escalation, the guilt trip, the hot and cold. You may be surprised where you start to notice them, and noticing is more than half the battle. If this gave you a new way to protect yourself, there's a whole playlist of these waiting for you. I'll see you in the next one.